rules for your piecewise function. The first example we have here has 3 different rules. You've got to decide which piece applies. All right, you have to decide which piece applies. So example 1 here is asking us to evaluate a piecewise function for different input values. So they ask us, what is P of 10? Well, we've got to figure out, okay, we've got to look at the inequality here. We've got x is less than 0, x is equal to 0, and x is greater than 0. Well, isn't 10 an x value? So is 10 less than 0, equal to 0, or greater than 0? Greater. So that means we use the third piece. We only use the third piece. So we're plugging 10 into that third piece. I don't know why I stuck a negative in front of 0.5. 0.5 times 10 minus 1. Well, 0.5 times 10 is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. You're welcome to use your calculator. Just doing it in my head. Okay, so the answer to that, there's one answer, and it is 4. All right, P of negative 10. Which piece does that fit into? The first, second, or the third? The first, because negative 10 is less than 0. So 2 times negative 10 is negative 20. All right, P of 0. 0 is the middle piece. That's the only time you're going to use the middle piece is when x is 0, and that's what they're asking us right now. So the answer to that is 5. And then 2.48, I'm going to be honest, I did not come up with these examples. This was another teacher, but I like that they use a number that's not a whole number, because we get so accustomed to always using whole numbers. Whole numbers are not the only numbers that we can use, all right? There are an infinite number of other numbers out there that we ignore all the time. But 2.48 is greater than 0, so we plug it into that last piece, 0.5 times 2.48 minus 1. I am going to use my calculator on this one. And the answer is 0.24. Now, last thing, we'll end on this note. The next question says, what input value, okay, input value is just another way of saying x, input is your x, will give an output, or y, of negative 6. Well, if I'm tackling this problem, I would use some information that I've already gotten, okay? The only negative answer I got here was negative 10, so that's where I'm going to start. Okay, I plugged negative 10 into the first piece, so I'm going to start with the idea of, okay, well, let's see, will that first piece work for me? Is it possible for that first piece, 2x, to equal negative 6? Divide by 2, so x is negative 3. Negative 3 fits into x is less than 0. Negative 3 is less than 0, so it fits. So P of negative 3 equals negative 6. So negative 3 is the answer to that question there. Now, I would check it really quickly. I would check that last piece and see if it could equal negative 6. 0.5x minus 1 equal to negative 6. Solve it. Divide by 0.5, so negative 5 divided by 0.5 is negative 10. Now, just because I got an answer doesn't mean it's a right answer. Does negative 10 fit in that inequality right there? No, it's not less than 0. So yes, I got an answer from it, but it doesn't fit in that piece. So negative 3 is my only answer. All right.